Welcome to my channel. I painted this up last week. It's all dry and it's good to go. So I'm gonna put it to the side and I'm gonna start laying out the stuff for the tabletop, and we'll see how that works out. And when I'm gonna lay this out upside down, so I'll get an idea of how it's going to be and where the brackets have to go. And I don't want to make this welding table so heavy, and that's why it's going to be small for something I can do little work on when I'm using my gas torches. Earlier, I ground all these edges real good and nice, flat and square. So everything should be perfect. And then this is going to be laid out roughly like this. And then I'm going to put supports in here, but I have to cut them and get them ready. All right, on the bottom of the table, I'm gonna have this bracket that holds a bearing that's gonna get pressed in here, and I gotta make standoffs to the sides of the frame to support it. Alrighty, I'm gonna get ready to start cutting these brackets, and I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna be cutting 4 brackets, and I'm gonna get it cutting right now. Here's one bracket cut, and I cut all 4 of the new brackets for the base of it. So I'm gonna go to my grinder and I'm gonna square everything up, make everything all the same length, and then I'm gonna drill holes. I'm gonna grind all these to the same length, and they're all gonna be square, and then I'm gonna drill holes into them to mount. Out of the smallest bracket, I'm gonna grind that one first, and then I'm gonna grind everything to the shortest one. That way they'll all be the same length. All right, I finished up on grinding these. They're all the ground them. They're all to the same length. Now I'm gonna drill holes in them. I got done laying these out, and we're gonna drill them, and then I'm gonna clean all this stuff, and we'll be starting to weld it together. Alrighty, I finished drilling the holes, and now we're gonna lay it back on the table part and see how we do. I'm gonna get ready to start grinding and getting this all set to weld, and already started getting this all laid out, so we'll be good. So I just want to prep it all and get it ready for welding. I finished everything, grind everything clean, everything. I'm going to get ready to start welding it together, and I think it's going to come out pretty good. This is my big welding table that I use for bigger projects, and I usually put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood on top of it. That way it converts into a work table. So I'm going to get it set up for welding that base up. And I use this workbench for painting stuff on, welding stuff, all kinds of stuff. It's really versatile in what I can do with it. Alrighty, we're all set. I'm going to start laying this project out on here and clamping it down, and we'll square everything up and make it look good. I finished welding it. Tack welding it, or welded it good. Everything's nice and square. All right, I got this level standing on end, so I can see where the balancing point is for this. I'm putting a vise on here, a small vise, so I want to make sure when I get this, I want to make sure it's balanced when I put it on the pedestal to make it. I don't want it top heavy, because then it'll tip over while I use it, which will be no good. So I got to make sure it's balanced, and then it'd be good for me to spin around or whatever I need to do to get to it, and it'll work out good for me. Alrighty, I finished welding this all up. It cooled down, and now I want to switch my welding table back into a work table. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, I'm going to lay out the vise for this project. So I'm going to take off the base. That way I can get my holes lined up and make sure everything's square and nice and perfect. Alrighty? Alrighty, I finished up the vise. Everything works good on it. I mounted it to this 1/4 inch U channel, C channel, and I tapped it to 5/16. So that's all tight, everything's good, swiveled good. Now I want to put the main support on the bottom. I want to put this on, and we'll see how this works out. I finished putting this base on and squared it all up. Looks good. And I welded it all, and I welded the bottom, and it's pretty good. It looks real good, looks nice, and we'll press the bearing in, and then start attaching the bearing to this lead screw. I slid this bearing on. Now I'm going to put it in the lathe, and I'm going to drill and tap a hole to hold this bearing, and then I'll have the set screws that tighten up, and then when it's in the bottom of the base, it'll be press fit. Already, I drilled it and tapped it to 5/16. So this will hold the bearing on. This will hold the bearing on from coming off the top, and I'll make a heavy-duty flat washer for it, and then tighten these set screws so it doesn't fall down. All right, I found some 1/4 inch and a half by thing, but I cut it down and I put an X, got the center mark, and then I'm going to attach it and turn it down on the lathe to make a big washer for that, to hold that bearing. Finished turning that on the lathe. It's a square piece, 1/4 inch thick, it's a nice heavy duty washer. Now I'll be able to go to the next, finish up this big washer, and it holds this bearing on, and we'll be ready to assemble and see how everything's gonna fall together in our next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.